Hey guys, what's up? It's Adam here, aka Cena Guy. Let me turn my fan off. You might hear some buzzing in the background. Anyways, sorry about that. Don't want noise interfering while I'm doing this review. I hope you're all doing okay, guys and babes. It's been a while since I've done like a movie review at the present day. You know, mostly I've been doing re-uploads of my old stuff, but this is an up-to-date review on a film which I love. Okay, and I think everybody's seen this movie by now, especially if you're like a die-hard Jim Carrey fan and you're a big fan of his other movie roles like Ace Ventura, The Mask, Man on the Moon, Cable Guy, and those other classics that Jim Carrey has been in. This film right here, um, Dumb and Dumber. This is a double feature. It contains Dumb and Dumber, the unrated version, and The Mask, which Jim Carrey also starred in this Blu-ray edition. So it's a double feature. And yes, I have the unrated version, which means it contains a little bit more longer scenes. In fact, the full special features in this movie, 6 minutes of footage never seen in theatres. There's additional scenes, alternative endings. It has a documentary, plus other trailers. So there's not like a great deal of special features, just one or few more added bits and pieces. So it's something to go crazy about on the special features, but some of them are okay to see. Some people prefer the theoretical version because I reckon the unrated version is adding some more unnecessary scenes like Harry shitting more on the toilet, the bathtub scene where they're inside the hot tub, and you know Jim Carrey's hitting on Jeff Daniels in it and talking about what he'd like to do with him when he's a woman. Some people were upset by them gags, but I for one wasn't really too bothered really. But unrated version makes it look even longer, so who cares what the scenes were. But like I say, it stars Jim Carrey as Lloyd and Jeff Daniels as Harry. I think they both did terrific jobs in this. I didn't see this movie when I was really young, because this movie came out in the year of 1994, I believe. In fact, I'll tell you its official release date. Let me close that screen down. Yeah, I was right, 1994. The official release date was December 16th of 1994. Distributed by New Line Cinema. Directed by Peter Farrelly. Yeah, it was produced by Charles B. Wessler. That's right. But like I say, Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels in the leading roles. It also stars Lauren Holly, Karen Duffy, Mike Starr, Charles Rocket, and Terry Garr. So, cast-wise, it's pretty much all there. But right off the bat, it's an American screwball comedy film. And I'd have to say, this is going to be one of Jim Carrey's finest performances. I mean, a lot of people say Jim Carrey's basically the same character in every film, just different sort of, changes, like character's name and things like that. But I agree with what they're saying. I mean, I'm not putting Jim Carrey down. I love Jim Carrey, great comedian. He's been in scenes in movies where I've had a heart attack laughing over his humour. But when people say things like, how is Ace Ventura any different from the Grinch? Because he could be just Ace Ventura in the Grinch costume, you know what I mean? But basically what they're trying to say is he's like the same person in different movies, you know what I mean? Just different types of character. And put it this way, if you saw Jim Carrey in another film and you weren't familiar with Jim Carrey, you know who he is straight away, because there's only one guy with the sort of humour that Jim Carrey has, and that's him. So, but with Jeff Daniels, I'm not putting him down either. I liked him in Arachnophobia. You know, he's been in other types of roles that I've liked, but I maybe remember him in Arachnophobia in this movie. But they were both in their primes in this, and I think they did a great job. Right off the bat, I'm going to say right now that I have seen Dumb and Dumber 2. I don't like that movie. I've only seen it once. Once is enough. I actually went to the cinema to see that movie with a friend, and I'm not joking, I did not like Dumb and Dumber 2. I'll more than likely be ranting on that movie after this one, depending what the future brings. But Dumb and Dumber 2, I thought it was depressing. I did not like the direction the Harry and Lloyd character went. They seemed more meaner in that movie. The characters seemed a lot more meaner. And you can tell that due to their performances in that movie, Jeff and Jim, their hearts didn't seem to be into the roles like there was with the first movie. I don't know if both of them had the drive to do that movie. So I don't think their hearts were 100% into their roles in that Dumb and Dumber 2. But in this one, it's all there. They're over the top. They're funny. They work great together. You know, the scenes where you can't help but laugh at the simple moments, like in the opening, with Jim Carrey. You know, Lloyd is in the limousine. He's talking to that girl who's from Austria, and he's trying to guess her accent. So that she's got a lovely accent, saying, "Are you from New Jersey?" She says Austria. And then he's like simply like, "Good day, mate. Let's put another shrimp on the barbie." So he knows an Austrian accent, yet he can't seem to tell the difference between the two when he's talking to this woman. So the humour in it was simple, yet it sent off brilliantly. You know, I mean, basically Jim Carrey's character picks up a woman called Mary, takes her to the airport. She leaves the briefcase. You know, it's going to be picked up by these two bad guys. Jim Carrey's character runs in, grabs the briefcase, goes through the airport terminal, and he falls out. "It's okay, I'm a limo driver." Falls the fuck out. So right off the bat in the opening, you got great humour. Simple, yet it worked. Jim Carrey pulled it off right off the bat, being very humorous. Great comedy. And we introduced Jeff Daniels' character, who's Harry, taking these dogs, you know, he's feeding them hot dogs and all kinds of shit in his vehicle that looks like a dog itself. But anyhow, they go back to the apartment because they're living together as flatmates, basically. They both got fired from the job. You know, they go out looking for a job. They can't find a job. They return to find out that the bad guys have killed Harry's pet bird, PD. Straight away, more humour, saying his head fell off because he was pretty old. Jim Carrey breaks down, saying he's sick and tired of having nobody, and he wants to go to Aspen to deliver this briefcase back to Mary, you know, and maybe start a new life with her. He's got this dream of falling in love with her and, you know, being in a relationship with her. So that's what they do. They set off to Aspen to deliver the briefcase back, with hope in the possibility that, you know, Lloyd will find love with this woman because he fell in love with her at first sight, basically. I'm going to go off subject now by talking about comparing this movie with the second movie. Because after watching this movie again, Dumb and Dumber, the first movie, it makes me realise why I dislike the second movie so much. I mean, don't get me wrong, in the second movie, there was a few scenes that made me giggle a little bit. But I wasn't having a heart attack of laughter in any moments. I like that little scene where they're driving around with that letter and they give it back to the sender's address. That part was a little bit funny. I like that. I even love the scene where Lloyd is looking at the dog saying, "Are you smiling at me?" when the dog's clearly barking and growling at him. But the rest of the film was like pretty much forgettable. I mean, what changed the character so much is that even though in the first movie they were humorous, but then they had like some sort of heart. It's like that scene in the restaurant where they put peppers in that guy's burger. You know, his mouth is burning, and, you know, they tried to help the guy, because one minute they're laughing, then they say, "Hey, are you okay?" And they're trying like to give him his tablets, and they're trying to help the guy. So they've got hearts to some degree. In the second movie, it seemed like they were straight up evil, like the scene where the hotel got caught on fire and that guy was set on fire, and they were just laughing at him constantly for like 5 minutes. So I don't know what direction I was trying to take with the Harry and Lloyd character in the sequel, but I didn't like what I was seeing. You know, I think it went from... It's hard to explain. I think many of you who had seen Dumb and Dumber 2 would know where I'm coming from. The Harry and Lloyd character seemed like they got even worse. It's like back to the Aspen, where Lloyd says, well, Harry says to Lloyd, "I don't know, Lloyd, the French are assholes." But in the second movie, it seemed like they didn't even know what a country is. It seemed like they was trying to make him even more dumb and dumber. You know what I mean? More dumber than the first movie. You know, despite them being a little bit older, you know, a little bit more greyer. So, I don't know if it was written by the same director or the same writers or anything like that in that degree, but in my opinion, the second movie does not touch the first movie in any capacity. Like I said, I saw the movie once in the cinema with a friend. We both left the cinema agreeing straight away it wasn't as good as the first movie. You know, we both thought the characters were lacking something. We did not like the direction of what these new characters were taking comedy-wise. So it was a really big off-put. I mean, in the first movie, it was all there. Simple comedy. Dumb and Dumber style type of comedy. And Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels pulled both the characters off great. They were in their prime. They were full of energy. You can see that they love working together as a duo. You know, there's not one scene throughout the movie where I don't think I was bored or wanted to fast forward the movie. And if you don't do that, then you know something's right in the film. Because I remember being entertained from start to finish in this movie. In fact, I think the best joke was at the end with the girls on the bus. I thought that was the best joke. But I'll get to that in a minute. Like I say, there's a scene where Jim Carrey's character finds out that Jeff Daniels is seeing Mary in a date, so he puts something in his tea or coffee, and he ends up having diarrhea on the toilet. Anyone can make a diarrhea scene look funny, but Jeff Daniels took it to a different level with the noises he was making, his facial expressions. Come on, flush, you bastard, when he's trying to tip the fucking diarrhea out the toilet. No, I'm just shaving. Yeah, I'm running late. I just thought this would save some time. You know what I mean? So he pulled off well. This is all the whole situation with the briefcase where the bad guys are trying to get it back. Harry and Lloyd are getting in this argument over the Mary Swanson type of character. I even love the little scene where Harry goes berserk when he finds out Lloyd's got 2 pairs of gloves on where they're trying to warm up. And he's threatening to throw the briefcase in the lake, and it was just full of money. They go on a big spending spree, keeping the receipts. So it was great. It was great. I mean, I really wish I saw the movie to an earlier date. I never saw the Dumb and Dumber film until later in my life. And I was missing out big time. I mean, I was still a big fan of The Mask and Ace Ventura and all those other movies. But Dumb and Dumber was one that I never saw to a later date, and I regret that. I really wish I saw it more earlier. I don't know why I didn't get around to seeing it, but, I was missing out big time on a classic, Dumb and Dumber. It's got to be up there in my top 5 favourite Jim Carrey films. But like I say, Dumb and Dumber 2, I think that was one of Jim Carrey's most polished performances. The humour just wasn't there, except for a few giggles, but there was nothing very interesting. I mean, he did commercially well, the sequel did, but when fans compared it to the first movie, they just knew the spirit of the humour weren't there, and that's just a shame. It's a shame. They shouldn't have done the movie if they didn't want to do it. But sometimes people just do those sort of things to, make money and shit like that. So yeah, I love the diarrhea on the toilet scene. Loved the film right off the bat when it opened up with Harry and Lloyd losing their jobs. The annoying noise scene where they're travelling in the vehicle and Jim Carrey does the annoying noise. The burger scene with the peppers. Even the scene in the cafe, where Seabass spits on Harry's burger. And then Lloyd makes Seabass pay for the bill when they do a runner. Even the cop scene when they pull them over because Lloyd's pissing in the beer bottles and the cop drinks the beer and tells him to get the hell out of here when he finds out what he's finally drank. So even the fucking filling station scene with the petrol, where Harry sets his leg on fire while he's trying to get the number off the girl. He's like, for God's sakes, give me the damn number. So they both sold it out for me perfectly. Jeff Daniels and Jim Carrey with their characters. They pulled them up. They couldn't have pulled the characters off any better. And they had fun. You could tell they just simply had fun in this movie. And if 2 people are having fun with their characters and they're working together as a duo, it's going to be pulled off great. I mean, the end of the movie had me cracking up even more. I remember when I first saw this movie the first time, I cracked up laughing so hard, where Harry and Lloyd are walking down that road. The bus pulls up with all these beautiful women saying they're looking for 2 guys that can grease them up before each competition. Harry's like, you're in luck. There's a town about 5 miles out, and I'm sure you'll find a couple of guys there. Lloyd runs after them and says, my friend's a little bit slow. The town is back that way. And I just remember cracking up heavily on that scene. So out of all the great jokes in this movie, the simple humour, yeah, I just remember straight off the bat I was laughing my ass off. Love that funny scene where Harry and Lloyd couldn't get even more dumber, saying there's a town back that way full of guys and You'll find a couple of guys there when they could have gone there coach themselves. So simple yet funny humour, and it just paid off really well. I mean, I will state some facts about this movie before I end this. I've mentioned well, I've already said about the release date of December 16th of 1994. The film's on for 106 minutes, depending on your features and which rated version you're talking about. I've got the unrated version, so it's on a little longer. I mean, this movie made $17 million. No, the budget was $17 million, and the box office, it made $247.3 million. That's fucking impressive. So, it made that much in the box office. It got positive reception. You know, all of the fans of Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels gave this film positive reviews. Honestly, the film was just given basically 2 thumbs up by everybody, and they thought it was a classic. You know, some people would argue just saying, you know, the movie was good for its time and all that kind of shit. But after just watching this movie again not too long ago, the humour's still there. And if the humour's still there, I mean, like I said, we're in 2020 now. This came out of the year 1994. And if you can still find a comedy humorous today like it was back then there's something special about the movie. Honestly. And I still crack up and giggle about every little scene in this movie. So that's basically all I've got to say, everybody. I'm not looking forward to doing the next film, Dumb and Dumber 2. That'll be a rant. I don't know when I'll do it, or because everyone knows I'm not into ranting. I like to do reviews on positive movies and shit like that. So we'll have to see where we go. But stay tuned. We'll see where we go from here. Thanks for watching this, everybody. Email if you've got any questions, and leave a comment below stating what you think about the film, give opinions, and how much the film means to you in all that type of ways. So we'll see where we go. Thanks, everyone. Peace out.